try to get it as much as I can, and then I'll edit it down. Try to keep it under 30 minutes.
Yeah, we should.
Right.
But no, okay. I was just gonna say. Hi.
Okay. Hi, Internet. It's your boy again, Chandler, aka the True Dark Magician, and today I am with a cultural and comic icon, Mr. Steve Orlando. He is nice enough to talk to us today about LGBT representation.
Welcome to Springfield Comic Con. Hope you're having a good time. Come join us in Meeting Room 1 for a Q&A session with incredible comic creator Robert Bazzitti. See you soon.
All right, start again. Hi, Internet. It's your boy, the True Dark Magician, and I'm back again with another episode of Sitting Across From Me Is. And today, sitting across from me is Steve Orlando, writer and creator for DC, Marvel, Image, and a bunch of others. So here's how it goes. I've got a nice introduction written out for you so that you don't have to get bogged down with questions like, where are you from? Where were you born? How did you get started in all this? And we can get right to the meat of it.
Right on.
So, born in 1986, year after me.
Well, the secret is I was actually born in 1985. So you got it. It's that damn Wikipedia.
Okay.
So.
Alright. Steve started pursuing his dreams of being a comic book writer at the age of 12 when he attended his first San Diego Comic-Con, back when you actually could get in and not have to be an executive. It was there he met Steve Siegel and Joe Kelly, who were working on X-Men at the time, and they started mentoring a young Steve on his 20-year path towards his dream. Later, Steve attended Hamilton College in Clinton, New York, where he studied Russian language. I'm gonna ask you about that later, what that was all about, and creative writing. Then in the year 2000, Orlando attended conventions looking for work in the comic industry, hitting the pavement and pounding it, so to speak. So do it. Between the years 2000 and 2014, Steve worked on his first long-term work, Undertow. He also created and received comics under the mentorship of Man of Action Studio and Vertigo editor Will Dennis. As well as published with 215 Inc. and Poser Inc. and worked as a submission editor for Leagues of Talent. In 2009 and 2014, Steve worked on Outlaw Territory anthology series at Image Comics, where he was nominated for an Eisner and a Harvey Award. In 2015, Steve launched Midnighter for DC as part of the DC You Publish International initiative with art by ACO. Midnighter was named by IO9 as one of the 20 best comics of 2015, and the best protagonist of a gay superhero in the mainstream comics.
It's all true.
That was a direct quote. Later, Steve worked on the Batman and Robin Eternal Weekly, which was one of my favorite series.
Awesome.
One of my favorite series. Before launching both Supergirl and Justice League of America, which I also enjoyed. Especially Justice League of America. As part of the DC Rebirth initiative. In 2017, Steve co-wrote the Batman Shadow crossover event for DC, and then wrote the sequel Shadow Batman crossover event for Dynamite Entertainment. 2018 was a busy year for Steve. He also worked on the Milk Wars, again, another one of my favorite series.
Also know mine.
Milk Wars.
I love my own stuff.
Okay. He and Ryan Sook begun writing the Unexpected as part as the new age of DC heroes. He saw the launch of Martian Manhunter, again another one I enjoyed reading. Martian Manhunter. He's third collaboration with Relly Rose. Butchering these names, I know that.
Oh, he's Canadian, he's very polite.
Issue 1 was named one of the best of the year of 2018 by Tor Books. And also guest wrote on DC's Wonder Woman for issue 51 to 55, with issue 55 being named one of the best standalone Wonder Woman's ever read. Another direct quote. So, internet, Mr. Steve Orlando.
I wave again. It's good to see everyone on the internet.
It's good to be seen. Now, what I've got is, I got a lot of questions for you.
Let's speed round them
Let's
all.
speed round them all. Let's get right into it. Just a reminder too, this is a part one of two interviews with Steve and with his colleague. Again, I'm bad with names.
With Jared.
With his colleague Jarrett Melendez. So also be on the lookout for part 2 of this as we discuss LGBT representation in the mainstream comics. And just in mainstream entertainment in general, really. Okay. So, arguably, the first open gay character in American comics, comic strips appeared in prominent strips in the late 1970s and gained popularity through the 1980s. Since then, the 1990s, equal and open LGBT themes have become more common in mainstream U.S. entertainment. In a number of titles in which a gay character is the star. What do you contribute to be the cause of this? And do you think it will continue to rise?
I think
This is all good.
so. All creative arts at the end of the day, I mean, for us, the creative act, we look to publish this, it's a business, and so why do these things start to pop up? Because they realize these are folks, I mean, yes, in the moral sense, this is their business. But also, these are folks that want to consume content, and they want to feel accurately represented. So the first steps that you're talking about, of course, are we get characters that are like us in the media. The next steps of how it proliferates and becomes more authentic is that we get folks behind the scenes that experience those things and research those things, not completely from those communities, to not just put us in things and represent and tell our stories, but tell our stories more accurately and more accurately. And that type of thing self-aggregates. You see yourself in media, you feel validated, you feel empowered, and you want more of it, and you want to follow that media. So I think all of these types of representations will snowball. There's always going to be pushback, like we're experiencing right now. But if you look at the arc of history, it tends to move towards representation. Regardless of what's going on now, I do think you'll see it continue. I think you'll see it continue to proliferate. And hopefully, of course, you'll see more folks from, regardless of what type of community we're talking about, LGBTQ plus folks included, more folks behind the scenes. Not just in the creative side, but also in things like the marketing side, which is the bridge between what we do and the bridge side. A lot of times when I started out in the industry, people would treat it like a field of dreams. If you don't think they will come, but they got to know it's there to come. It's not going to come. So I think the next steps are about diversifying the areas besides the creative, and of course, you're going to have to diversify the demographic that's already there. We need to rethink and improve how we speak to those people so they know that content is out there for them. So to me, that's the next step.
Do you think it's all a matter of timing, right place, right time, or in your case also right people helping you in the background, getting the word out there, getting your stuff out there, letting you know, hey, We're good. Hey, we're allies too. We've got your representation right here.
Well, look, I think that everything in entertainment, regardless of if it's queer, friendly or not, when you're breaking in, it is right place, right time. The people that I knew when I was getting into DC, I know them for 15, 20 years. Them wanting to hire you is not enough. There has to be an opportunity. You have to amass a reputation and backlist that shows the people they work for that you're somebody who can be hired, who can be relied upon. So whether or not this is about queer content, it would always be the right place, the right time. That being said, we're talking about, well, we're allies. I'm not going to romanticize it with people. Again, publishers are businesses, they want to make money. So the way that happens is, we see that this is a demographic, potential customers that are not being served. Here's Steve, he knows how to create books that will be authentic and will help us better serve them, and of course, provide them with ways that they can buy. So, I mean, I would love to tell you that people would do things out of the goodness of their heart. The reality is that, like, you need to be in a position to help businesses do what they want to do. That's make money. I don't think that's evil, that's just the way it is. But we need to be here so we can do that in a way that, yes, is important, is valuable, is exciting for people.
Come join us
Money's the same color no matter which pocket. Can't believe it took people this long to figure that out.
Oh, but look at the world. I mean, people, you want to talk about the rise of LGBT people as demographic when it comes to customers. Well, first they have to rise socially and have to feel proud and be accepted to be open about who they are. But that's the real authenticity. First, we're talking about, can we express ourselves on the streets? Can we live openly and be accepted? And then that grows to the point where culture say, oh, this is a demographic we have to serve, we have to support them, of course, we can protect their rights. So it is all kind of interconnected. We were just talking about the other comics, right? In the greater context, broader social acceptance leads to, of course, our participation in the financial system.
Yes. Okay, next question. What are some of your favorite real-world examples of positive LGBT plus representation in mainstream comics today?
Well, I mean, look, I would be remiss not to bring up Midnighter. It's a character that, for me, when I was 13 when Midnighter debuted, I was still figuring myself out. And what was nice, you were talking about representation a lot for us. Back then, there was very little. So, you had the diner owner on Roseanne, but I was trying to tell Roseanne about that because they were still they didn't like the family. And you had Jack and Lily Race. Now, by the way, there's nothing wrong with Jack and Lily Race, but it wasn't an expression of his identity that spoke to me personally. So Midnighter was the first time I had the character that said, okay, well, you can be a queer person, in my case a bisexual person, but that can look, it doesn't have to look like this. It can look like you. It doesn't have to be this one type of thing. That's one of the things that representation helps. It shows people who maybe are isolated or they don't have a chance to connect with people who live communities in real life. There is no one way to be who you are. There's no right way to be a bisexual person. There's no right way to be any type of LGBTQ plus person. For me, Midnighter was the first character to show you that. So I would have to point that out. In my case specifically, I also really love the book of Nicola by Milligan Figueredo, which again is not a utopian depiction of queer culture, but it was one that's supposed to me as well. I'd have to think back further. I was not a big TV watcher. I was only sitcom watcher, so things like Will and Grace and things like that character didn't really speak to me. I think that most of my first interactions were positive did come from comics. I was Sopranos once, but all that show taught me was that you could get killed, and I was a show that it was not ideal, to say the least. So for me, it was things like Midnighter. It was things like, it was things like the book of Nicola. Those to me were the two things.
I think it's also important to point out that the stuff on your TV didn't represent everyone in the gay community. Not Will and Grace, not every gay man was a flamboyant actor or a conservative type lawyer.
No, but the thing is that that's when we're talking about why representation matters. If you haven't met other queer people, maybe you think that's the only narrative. Because that's the only narrative you've seen. So that's why these things are incredibly important, right? It is not just about, yes, obviously you have to do with sell comics. At the same time, it's important for folks consuming because maybe it does show you how rare
That Scarlet Witch is so cool.
even things like Brokeback Mountain, revolutionary at the time, but it's still a story that says
I
what
wept.
can aspire to
I wept.
is to getting beat to death with a tire iron. I mean, fuck that, because we deserve life. So all these things progress as time goes on, and those are natural steps in the order, of course. I'm not mad about that movie. But this is why we need to have a cooperation of these areas, to show you that we can find these things.
Wept at the end of Brokeback Mountain. I watched it in my I watched it for my women's studies in cinema class back when I was getting my bachelor's degree, and I thought, oh my God, they're gonna have is this gonna be a hopeful ending? Is it gonna end on an upswing? Is it gonna be finally a happy ending?
Don't get too excited.
And then they got the phone call, and then there was the phone call.
Scarlet.
And yet, no, I literally told my professor, I think it would have hurt less if he just broke off a desk leg and beat me over the head with it. Okay, moving on. What are some of your least favorite real-world examples of negative LGBT plus representation in the mainstream today?
I mean, with no shade intended, I don't really want to answer that just because I don't like shading my peers. The thing is that there might be things that I think didn't work out great. I mean, we were just talking about Brokeback Mountain. But at the same time, that was revolutionary, of course. And even when things haven't worked out amazingly, I've been like, well, that doesn't work. That's not realistic. I think you don't know that person. I mean, I could certainly make up things, but I just think I don't necessarily think it's productive because maybe those folks even did think they were doing well, but they lack the cultural context to understand that it's not the case.
Excuse
So I would rather say
Excuse me.
if you've encountered things like that, I think the real awareness there, not always, but a full can be that when you are not from inside a community, you need to do extra work to understand what's authentic, to understand what's realistic. And so I don't want to say negative or bad, but like, if I look at a character inside that and say, well, clearly you didn't think through the optics of that, clearly that doesn't speak to me or seem stereotypical. I would at least myself, and I can speak for myself, prefer to ascribe a lack of understanding or even potential ego, which is negative, to the process of writing, which is to say, well, I don't need to do the actual work to depict this community. A lot of people will approach real live living communities the way they approach writing Superman. There's an old guard phrase of I can be a man and write a woman without any extra research because I can write Superman without being an alien. Well, that's patently absurd because women are real. And so that's more what I would like to say to that question. It's not that it's a bad question. I think that the real enemy here is ego. You realize that I can do these things and I can pay the same amount of time researching it as I would like researching Amber's blog if I was going to write that book. But that's completely false. And so if I was to point to a narrative and criticism there, it's do the work to do this thing look right in here. And when you're depicting real living cultures, there's a weight of responsibility that is greater.
That I can't. Sorry.
Well said.
That I can't
So
think of.
I would buy Amber's book if you wrote it.
Well, much appreciated.
Okay, who were some of your biggest influences growing up, and how are they still influencing you today?
Well, you said in the intro, one of my best friends and longest term friends is Steve Seagal. He's been mentoring me since I was 12 years old, and he's still a role model for me in life and not just in comics. So I would have to put him. I would have to put Joe Kelly. Again, I owe those two guys my career in many, many ways. And also Joe Casey and Duncan Relu from Man of Action. So I still look to those folks for advice. The nice thing about having mentors who are older is that they're always ahead of you in the game in life. So they've always done the thing that's coming upon, regardless of what it is. I'm now older than Siegel was when he met me, and now there are people looking to both of us, for criticism and for help. And I think that's kind of a beautiful generational thing. We are now working together and communicating and commiserating. And the same thing that he did with me many, many years ago. But when it comes to influences as well, I mean, I try to look outside of comics because I think if you only sort of consume this type of thing, or learn from any type of thing, it becomes discursive and insular. So I would say, I mean, it's pretty well known that one of my idols is Anthony Bourdain, and kind of go through life in the way he does, with humility and inquisitiveness. But also confidence. I try to enter new cultures, and even in the United States, new cities, new areas, like he would. Just to say, don't expect that I'm style, which is ironic because we're doing an interview, but we're talking about my life. Don't expect that I know it all, and go in as a student. if I've learned one thing from
Those are going on my
the rest of it is to go through life as a student, to be a perpetual student, and to move with humility. And I think about that all the time, not just in food culture, but in culture in general. The same would go for my friend Jose Andres, who is, I consider, a big North Star for me when it comes to things like humanitarianism, like philanthropy, and charity. Again, we talk about humility. Here's someone who read The Grapes of Wrath, a book that countless American students read in elementary and middle school. But here's a man who read it as an adult, having never experienced poverty in the way that is depicted in that book. And he's simply decided that he's going to do all he could to make sure that no one else can go through it. How many people in this country read that book and put nothing more of it? So those are people that are sort of foundational for me, but they're also people that you respect.
I like that. This one right here.
That's how I live my life.
That's what I mentioned. Give this interview. Not just you the writer, but you the man, your life, not just your career. Okay, so the first major openly gay character was created by Marvel. The character North Star came out in Alpha Flight 106, and it sold out in a week, despite it not being a very popular title. What do you think is the difference between writers and editors that create gay characters as promotional stunts, as opposed to ones that do it to make a positive representation to the LGBT plus?
Well, okay, so first off, and again, my apologies, but North Star is not the first openly gay character. First openly gay character was Extraño, published by DC in the
Oh,
It's a common misconception because North Star did use it for Extraño, but did not come out until after the Extraño debut. So there's no error there at all, but just to point out, Extraño was out from the beginning. North Star did not come out until after him, though of course he did debut before.
I know.
But, that being said, look at both those characters. Both have some upward profiles. Extraño, I hesitate to even say it on this interview, because it is, on some level, a slur against queer folks in South America, where his character's from. In North Star, you have a character that came out, and it was a long story where it was possible to be half fairy. So, you asked what the difference is. I would not even describe promotional stunt because I wasn't there, and you never know what it is. What I would describe is passive ignorance. If you don't research, if you don't know people from these communities, you might think that naming that character, in the case of Gregorio de la Vega, Extraño, you might think that that's empowering, right? Or taking it back. But have you actually talked to people who've been subject to that word? You see if they think that? You might even think that, you may not know. I'm not John Byrne. I don't know what he was thinking with that Harry story. I never will. But I would question if he really realized that you had a character who was, I don't know when that story took place, if it was before or after it came out, who was queer-coded or openly queer. You may think nothing of that because you're just not thinking like folks in that community. So, listen, I might sound like an asshole. I try to be a positive person.
Not.
I'm just saying, I'm a cynical person. But I try to think of the best of people. So, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't really know Scott Lobdell, who I believe was the writer of Alpha Flight at the time. I don't know John Byrne and what happened with the Mary story. I don't know the fate of Extraño. So maybe they did think that it was, maybe they didn't get stuck making a gay character and thought that'd be a funny joke. Maybe they are assholes. I have no idea. But I can say all of those theories we're talking about show either a passive or active lack of research, either a passive or active ignorance. And I do think that's unacceptable. That's part of the job of the writer. Doing the research, making sure that what you're doing is actually additive to the characters that you're
Okay, so jumping to 2021, we saw 12 superheroes come out in one form of mainstream entertainment or the other. Examples: Jonathan Kent in Superman, son of Kal-El, started dating his high school paper reporter friend. Another male student in Batman Urban Legend #5. Robin went on a date with another one of his male colleagues that he knew from his past. Jessica Bissell, the actress that took over the role of Batwoman in season 2, she is bisexual, and the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott, is now being portrayed in multiple titles as being he was gay all the time, and they're going to continue that in the upcoming live-action Green Lantern show if it ever gets made, whenever that gets made. And the character Dreamer from the CW Supergirl show. What was it? Captain America, not Steve Rogers, but Aaron Fisher, a gay teen from the Captain America of the Railway issue, and Loki. Who knows what's going on there? These isn't a question. I just wanted to gauge your reaction to all of this.
Well, it's funny. I was in a cab going to New York Comic Con, and the driver asked me. First, he said, "Don't be offended." It's always a good intro. And to be fair, it's really impossible to have upstate New York. I've heard everything. He said, "Now, what is it with now? I've been watching Batwoman, and so what is it with all these Marvel characters coming out? You see the obvious issue." But regardless, he said, all the characters are bisexual, and I think so. The issue, again, it takes a lot to handle me, so I was patient, but I just said, from context, you think that all the characters are bisexual, but DC and Marvel have character libraries that are at minimum in the numbers of 3,000 to 5,000 characters, and at most less than 100 clear characters. So, though it may seem like they're quote all coming out, it is a false positive. There's a fraction of the character library. So, first of all, if anything, my reaction is that so first of all, in the scenarios you named, they're not all the same. So Alan Scott. Yes, the Justice Society version of Alan Scott was revealed as having been a closeted gay man. But if you look back, when the New 52 launched in Earth 2, that version of Alan Scott was made from the start. And there was no other version of Alan Scott. Justice League had been sunsetted during the New 52. You have a situation where the character of Alan Scott was remade and reproduced from the start. And then the original version of him came back. Now you're in a moral quandary. You've already given people representation. Can you take it away? We're not California taking away gay marriage here, so it's not ideal. Character of Dreamer. Dreamer was created as trans from the start with a TV show. So now we're going to introduce her to the comics. She's a new character. She's of course a reference to Dreamgirl from the Legion of Supergirl, but it's a different character. Things like John Kent, things like Tim Drake, those are different. They have been established, especially Tim Drake. So I don't have an issue with any of them. If anything, I think the thing to look at is if it feels like it's all at once, I feel like that's a logistics issue. And I do sort of wish the sagas would be possible, but I do feel as if things were staggered slightly differently. The spotlight would be on an individual character more, and they would receive more attention, and get more creative bandwidth, more marketing bandwidth. The intangibles are really the So there's always this thing of let's try to flood the market. When we flood the market, things drown. So if anything, I want all these things to happen, but if I was to hop off my high horse and get critique or hop on it rather, it would be again, from the low art standpoint, give these characters time to grow, give these characters time to be understood, and for people who may naturally be shocked, look, if you were a Tim Drake fan, and you was, I understand if you are shocked that he came out. I'm still feeling coming out. Give those folks time to understand that he's still Tim Drake. Give those folks time to understand that this is an evolution of the growth for him, not an abdication of the character he was before. So if I have anything opinion-wise that's critiquing, it's more about the role of these characters and how they each should receive attention on their own, so that it's not diluted when they become.
Do you think straight writers should write gay characters?
Well, shit's a weird word, but I mean, look at what I've been saying all along. I'm 100% that person. That's me personally. Again, I can only talk about my own opinion. That thinks you must come from a given marginalized community to work on that character. I absolutely don't think that. Having been in the industry for 10 years, I'll admit I am sometimes uncomfortable with how I am pigeonholed as only doing LGBT content, only doing Jewish content. To be quite honest, from both outside and inside the community, because I am more than a single aspect of my own identity. But I also understand that desire because folks have been let down so often. So while I'm not always comfortable with it and sometimes feel tokenized, I understand where it comes from. So what I say is this. Yes, I would never say anyone should not be allowed to background. But there is a hell of a lot more work to do if they're going to. So that, I mean, if you look at this interview, that should be no surprise if I'm saying that. If you are going to do that, you got to do the extra work. You got to do the extra work. You got to do the research. You got to respect the community. So yes, I do think they should. Just being in the community doesn't actually mean you're available or yes. Doing work that's problematic. It just means that you're in that community. But if you're from without that community, I'm not against it, especially down the road when more queer folks, in this case, or more folks from within the communities, have been given opportunities. But if you are given that opportunity, there are so many extra considerations. There's a lot of extra work that needs to be done. And to me, yes, I think that's part and parcel to accepting that job. But if you're willing to do that, and you're willing to do that with, wait a minute, what was that thing I said earlier, humility, and be a student of the community, then yes, I'm completely okay with you taking that job.
Okay. What impact do you think you have made in the mainstream comic industry? And what impact do you hope to make before you retire, if you ever retire?
I have no idea. I'm not like, even with the impacts I find, like, especially social media, the impacts you get are in the DMs you get, the people who you connect to, extremely micro, extremely granular. You never know. This is the beauty of it. You never know who's going to read your work and is going to feel touched by it. So it's a douchebag answer. I just hope that people connect with my work. You know, I don't have a specific thing how I want them to, because by the way, once you put a book out in the world, you cannot control how people will interact with it. You cannot control personal experiences that create their lens on your work. So really, even as based on as it is, the hope is that truly folks find ways and enjoy where they connect with my work. How that happens, why that happens, I could control that if I wanted to, and I would be an asshole if I tried. So truly the answer is as simple as that. I do work that does connect with people, but I can't say how that is. I can't say why that is. That's each individual league.
Do you consider yourself a role model?
Next question. Listen, I'm a douchebag. But here's what I will say. Whether you personally agree with me and the way I live my life or not, if I'm a role model, I hope it is in terms of the confidence in the world. It's like, to me, that's the secret sauce. Confidence in yourself, it doesn't break out into egotism, right? And I can only talk about myself. When I'm at these shows, in my opinion, I'm here for readers. I would not be here without readers. I would not be here without people who read. So if I say anything, it's that. Like, regardless of what you do, like, understand the dynamic. Be confident in yourself and your work, whatever it is. But also, like, be irreverent. Show humility. Because regardless of your job, creative arts especially, it can end any time. You know? And so if I'm a role model, it's not because of who I sleep with, but hopefully it's because of how I move through the world. You know? I mean, it did take me. There are people that have gotten into comics, if we're going to talk about that, and half the time I've gotten into comics. So again, regardless of what you want to do, regardless of what your passion is, if I really am a role model, hopefully it's just to say that you never know what will happen. Look at me, I'm here doing this interview. I quit comics 1,000 times. And the 1,001st time, I made it. So regardless of what you want to do, just know you must keep going. You must not let someone else tell you to quit, and know that it can and hopefully will happen, but there's no time. There are people that broke into comics overnight, and there are people that are still trying to break in that I knew both are valid, both are great. And your biggest enemy, regardless of what you pursue it, is yourself. And that's a quote RuPaul because there's a lot of issues with that show and it's very overproduced.
Yeah.
Like, the inner saboteur, man. That is the person you have to fucking be. Let me not even quote RuPaul. Let me quote Creed because I like that movie more. It's my favorite movie. If you look in a mirror, that's your greatest enemy. Alright? So that's the person you have to overcome. That's your good job. If I have a role model, it's for that. Not because of what I write or who I fuck. That's the role model. Because it doesn't necessarily just apply to comics. It doesn't apply to anything.
Okay. What do you think the future of LGBT plus representation is? Where do you see it going?
I'm going to quote a very smart man, Greg Pak, who was at FlameCon with me many years ago. And Greg is smarter than I was. He said, the future of representation in general, so of course this goes for queer representation, is not just diversity, but a diversity of diversity. What does that mean? It means, as we were talking about Jack from Will and Grace, there is no one monolith that applies to every culture. There is no one LGBTQ story. There's no one story for black folks, for Jewish folks, for anything. There's as many stories as there are people in those communities. So the future is, again, a diversity of diversity means not just saying these characters exist, saying that we exist in a myriad of ways. There's no one way to be. There's no one outcome. You know, and so to me, that is where that's the future. It's showing that, like, not just that. First, we're at is the narrative, can we survive? By the way, speaking about Brokeback Mountain. Like, the first narrative is, can we survive? And now it's, how do we survive? Look at the ways we live. That's where we've gone. That's the soundbite. We've gone from can we survive to look at all the ways we can live. Look at all the ways we can prosper. That's the future.
That's beautiful. Okay. Okay. Other than Midnighter, who are some of your favorite LGBT plus superheroes, and how have they influenced you?
Oh man. Well, I'm going to quote Greg Rucka's interview, and I have to say Wonder Woman. You know, I mean, obviously I wrote her, so it's not like I'm out of pocket on it. But I do think that of the Trinity of Marvel, Jesus, DC, sorry, it's been a long show.
We're sorry, Warner Brothers.
I find that Wonder Woman is always going to be the most radical, and it's not for the reasons you would expect. Like, you don't want to talk about the 52 visits, but what the people said was the best female Wonder Woman issue in a long time. Look, especially now, but always, and especially in comics, we love like the dichotomy of good and evil. That person is bad, wrong. That's not Diana. And today and always, compassion and love, but especially compassion, are radical concepts. We don't want to hear that Diana cares as much about the person she's fighting as the person she's saving. We want to hear her suck that pressure, because that's a human reaction. But Diana's is a harder reaction. Showing compassion for someone who wants to do you harm, which is what 52 visits is about, that is the radical answer. It's the harder answer. And that's a complicated thing. It doesn't fit the easy moral structures that pervade all the comics. You know, we like to think of strength as, again, falling. But Diana is someone who talks about how realistically being vulnerable, allowing yourself to be vulnerable as you go, is a much greater risk than being invulnerable. That's the true strength. Risking yourself, showing compassion. That's the true strength, not bonk. Because bonk is easy. There's no future in it. So, I mean, it's an easy answer, but that is the answer. That it's got to be Diana.
I'm so happy you mentioned Wonder Woman, Diana, because she's my favorite. She's my favorite LGBT plus representation in comic books, especially because I don't want to put the label, is she gay, is she straight, is she bi? It says, well, this is my opinion, to her, she just radiates love for everyone, like you said. She loves the person she's fighting as much as the person she's saving. And my favorite issue, again, is from the New 52, when she's in the underworld and she's being forced to marry Hades. And Hades has the lasso of truth wrapped around her neck as a rope, and he asks her, "Do you love me?" She says, "Yes. I love everyone on the planet. I love you, even though you're right next to me." And then she takes a gun from a god and shoots him through the heart, which doesn't kill him, makes him up.
Well, I mean, Diana is powerful beyond her current context as well. Like, at the end of the day, Wonder Woman is powerful because in a culture that wants to dismiss women and silence women, she is the ultimate woman who must be heard. She cannot be dismissed. But even if you don't like her message, it doesn't matter. You cannot dismiss Wonder Woman. You can do all you want. You can be some showed asshole, and you can be a villain. You want to beat the shit out of her. You want to be cool. But you must listen to her because it's good. She can go toe-to-toe with Superman. She is the ultimate person. No matter what you want, no matter how inconvenient it is for you, you cannot pass over Wonder Woman. You cannot dismiss her. You must hear her. And then the message itself is radical. So it's not just that the message is radical. You cannot ignore it. If you are some dude that says, "Oh, fuck you guys," and you're just a dumb woman, she's going to be heard. And if you dismiss her ideas, you will listen to her. Because she cannot be dismissed. And I do think that's powerful and it's
Okay, last question. What do you hope to see in the new Authority movie that DC is making with James Gunn?
My name as one of the writers so that I can buy a new house.
There you go.
No, I mean, again, this is maybe not the answer that is sexiest, but like I make comics. I want to be, I strive to not be jaded on expectation of the industry. So at some level, I want to go into that as a movie fan and be surprised. It's easy when you know how the sausage gets made to become a vegetarian. So there's a level of that to me. At some level, I just want to be surprised by what happens. But there's also an answer. Of course, I want it to be very confident in his relationships and his sexuality. I don't want to have any sort of doubt or second guessing about who they are. I hope that there is pathos in this movie, but Midnighter's pathos does not come from being gay. So that's the key. It's not that queer characters in Midnighter specific can't have problems, but his problems don't come from homophobia or other things. And I think even that is a step forward. That's a mistake that writers who don't research the community and talk to people have a mistake. I had our creator who will not be named once tell me that I was writing Midnighter wrong because he's angry and he's gay and he's angry because he's gay. And he was well intentioned. He always thought he fixed the book, but he couldn't have done it well. And he's the only way to write Midnighter is killing homophobes all the time. And I just, for the record, we did that. He put the show out in somebody should too. But that's just again, like he's trying to help. He makes sure there's ignorance to what how the community is portrayed, ignorance to what really good representation is. So if I want those things, what I need, it's not a specific story beat, although of course I get paid if they use ones that I did, so I'm not an idiot. But it's just confidence. I need that movie to be as proud of Hollywood Midnighter as their fan base is, as the creators are, and that's what I need. It's a theme, it's a vibe, as the kids say.
Okay, and that's the end of the interview. Now, is there anything you would like to say or anything you'd like to plug, any projects you're working on right now?
Well, sure. I mean, if you are, so I am mostly at Marvel now, but I am working on my current book is The Scarlet Witch. I'm also doing Spider-Man 2099, and Marvel's been very good to me, and I'm thankful. As someone who's a huge 2099 fan, especially to be able to work on that is enormous for me. So please check out Scarlet Witch. I think it's my best work I've done in Marvel. Please check out 2099 because I just had a blast. We have incredible artists in the first collection, which is called Exodus. We have amazing work by Justin Mason, who also did Spider-Punk on Dark Genesis. And if you've been circling me because you're a DC fan but not sure, I'll say this as well for Scarlet Witch. I'm super proud of that book. I frequently say in interviews, I am writing it like I would write All-Star Superman. So if you are a DC reader, and for whatever reason you haven't been sure about Marvel, I hope that this brings you over. Because even though it is a book starring Scarlet Witch, in a lot of ways, it is framed in the same way as what I consider one of the best Superman books ever, All-Star Superman.
Buy the books, people. I'm gonna have.
Buy 'em.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm gonna have links to all of all of Steve's social media in the comments down below, and let us know what is your favorite LGBT plus representation in comic books today. Let us know in the comments down below. Until next time, Internet. Thank you.